Well, we haven't remotely got a handle on things, but things are not quite as bad as they were, and that's largely because there has been a certain rapprochement between the United States and China on this issue. So Xi Jinping and Obama came up with a set of guidelines of essentially non-strike guidelines that they would stay off of each other. There's a fundamental problem of cyber, and that is it is not a system of deterrence. It's a proactive weapons system, i.e., in order for your cyber defense to be effective, you have to fully know and understand the capacity of your potential opponent. And in order to fully know and understand the potential capacity of your opponent, you have to penetrate the bloody system. So everyone has probes inside everyone else's system. Some of them have sleeper viruses here, there, and everywhere. There are all sorts of things that are going on. But aggressive and fairly obvious espionage attacks between China and the United States have been reduced dramatically over the past 2 to 3 years. China also now has a growing problem of domestic cybercrime, attacking their banks, attacking their e-commerce and so on. And they are actually reaching out to the West, who are of course very experienced now, relatively speaking, in dealing with this sort of thing, and asking for assistance. That is a good thing. Russia remains resistant to all attempts by Western Europe and the United States to come to some sort of informal agreement, and it is trying to push its own system of international treaties which will essentially allow the Russian intelligence agencies free hand inside Russia. So we have a very complicated situation, and unfortunately, until you have an international rules of the road about cyber, then it is going to be very difficult to eliminate the possibility of a black swan event in cyber. We know that critical national infrastructure is vulnerable. We have examples of it around the world now. And we know that there are some state actors who punch way above their weight, like, for example, Israel, but you could also argue to an extent that Iran does as well. And we also know that although the United States remains technologically way ahead of its opponents, that in cyber, that advantage is reduced. With a relatively limited capacity, you can still cause a lot of damage. And that then introduces the possibility of non-state actors becoming involved. And one of the problems that we've had over the past 15 years is we're never entirely sure what is the relationship between non-state actors and state actors when it comes to launching attacks and when it comes to targeting, who is it, why, motivation, and so on. It's a very, very confused picture out there. And cybersecurity is increasingly absorbing a huge amount of money, both for commercial purposes and also for state purposes.